Hello YouTube, welcome to a new Synth News episode, the format that sums up all hardware and software news from last week. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and a good start in the month of November that will offer many new synthesizers that we will talk about. Let's start with the biggest release of the last week, the Modal Cobalt8, an advanced virtual analog synthesizer in the shape of the Organ 8. Instead of wavetable oscillators, it used 35 versatile oscillator algorithms that range from wave morphing, cross-modulation, FM, PWM, bit crushing, fractal synthesis and more. Further, it has a morphable ladder filter with 4 types, complex modulation, so 3 advanced envelopes and 3 LFOs, creative arpeggiator and sequencer with up to 512 note steps, parameter automation and more. I already had the opportunity to test the Cobalt 8 and I can say that it's a very versatile, modern sounding virtual analog synthesizer for €649. The built-in Fatah keyboard is very high quality and probably the best built-in keyboard that I've played in the current synthesizer in its price range. Nice job. Anyone wondering why the device is in an Organ 8 case has something to do with the current situation in the world. Since a lot of people are working from home, so it's very difficult to design a completely new interface from scratch in these days. So the developers decided to use a well-known design of the Organ 8. Important is here, it uses a different hardware, so it's not a simple firmware update. It's time for a comeback. Moog has released last week its Werkstatt-01 analog synthesizer DIY kit, which is loved by many electronic musicians. For $199, you get a straightforward analog synthesizer that offers a single oscillator, a classic 24 dB analog ladder filter, 2-wave LFO, an ADSR envelope, and a VCA that rounds up everything. Like on the previous version, it offers a tiny patch bay for mini cables on the right side, with which you can break the internal signal routing and opens up a new world of wild sounds. Unfortunately, nothing has changed in the analog design, but the Werkstatt-01 now ships with a UREC compatible CV expander that has been updated with a true gate input. One of the strongest points for this synthesizer is its educational approach. Not only it is easy glimpse into synthesis, but also the fact that you can assemble it and have a lot of fun and learn what a synthesizer is made of. You get a feeling that you have built something yourself. I'm very happy to see it back because especially they included now the expander module, but also there is a big community for this synth and it's a great gateway to the UREC world. There was one topic that made me super happy last week. Applied Acoustic Systems has released Chromaphone 3, a major update for its excellent percussive synthesizer. Chromaphone 3 is still based on the same Chromaphone 2 physical modeling synth engine, but now in bitimbral, which means you can play 2 different sounds at the same time. This can be stacked, but also split over the keyboard, so you have 2 Chromaphone synths in one plugin. That expands once again the sonic capabilities of Chromaphone. The third version is not only bitimbral, it has now many features that makes it more attractive to players. It starts with a completely redesigned interface, now in green-gray, a new easy-to-use preset browser, but also a clever home view interface with 4 macro controls. Powerful is here that a macro can feature several parameters and should cause major sonic changes to a preset. So this adds a new level of expressiveness to Chromaphone. Further, it comes with an updated multi-effects processor per layer, as well as an upgrade for the microscale function with individual scale support. On top, you get 421 new sounds, plus a refined version of the Chromaphone 2 preset library. Even in the third version, Chromaphone remains a unique synthesizer with a very organic sound. A bit of shame, there are no new synthesis features, but hey, I'm very happy to see that the plugin has been further developed. Good job. What should it be, an ARP 2600 from Behringer or the one from Korg? If you don't have enough money for these, there is now a very cheap alternative that brings the ARP 2600 sound in your studio. Cherry Audio, known for the voltage modular synthesizer plugin, is showing the CA2600, a new plugin emulation of this legendary synthesizer for just $25. Instead of massively expanding it in the features, they stay very close to the original. and added the plugin only minimally with new features like new semi-normal patch cabling, integrated effects, additional LFOs, and more. More important for me, there are no hidden screens or menus in the audio path. Consequently, it delivers a hands-on vintage synthesis experience that makes a lot of fun. For $25, you get here a very solid and good sounding ARP 2600 emulation as a plugin and standalone version. Compared to the Arturia emulation, this costs 6 times less, so I don't think that the Arturia emulation is 6 times better. Behringer has once again teased a new PCB photo on Facebook, and according to my observations, it is a replica of the well-known Oberheim 2-voice synthesizer in Europe. The knobs and switch layout is identical to this well-known Oberheim synthesizer. As a reminder, it consists of 2 fat-sounding SAM voices. It is not yet known when the synth will be released, but it's certainly interesting to see this as a clone. Norand, a new French company consisting of ex-Scrub instrument developers, brings fresh input to the bassline synthesizer market with Mono. Unlike classic bassline synths, Mono is a fully analog synthesizer with 2 analog oscillators with true zero analog frequency modulation, hard sync, a 3-pole state variable filter, and a powerful sequencer. The highlight of this analog melodic noise box is a supercharged modulation setup that incorporates 13 AD envelopes and 20 audio rate LFO modulators. Well, it has not too little modulations, that's for sure. A 64-step sequencer with individual length, scale and beat divisions per patterns is used for the melodic part. Additionally, it comes with very creative microshift, ratcheting and probability per step that expands the creative power of this sequencer once again. This is rounded off with parameter automations per step and additional swing, slide and accent parameters. So patches includes the patterns and all the sound parameters can be saved in the memory, and this includes up to 3200 parameter automation per step. That's a very powerful and also very powerful analog box. I love the simple but sexy design of the box, especially the Prophet style note entering buttons gives the device a retro but also modern touch. It also sounds very good and is definitely much more versatile than a classic bassline TB303 style synth. So we must see in more intensive tests what we can get out of the Mono. Don't forget, there are plenty of connection options including URAC CV gate out and more. I'm looking forward to hear more about this modern bassline synthesizer beast. I love unique synthesizer plugins that are different and offer possibilities that go beyond subtractive synthesis. Blade by Papen is one of them. It allows you to morph harmonics through an X and Y pad, controlled synth atmosphere, and the movements can be recorded, edited, and playback. I most use it for cosmic ambient sounds that are not possible with classic synths. Now Blade 2 is out and it is a big update with major new features. Biggest new feature is a new additive mode that allows you to morph mix between 4 fully customizable waveforms using the XY pad. The wave analyzer is also a new addition that transforms your sample data into a waveform. It's for sure a source for endless new sounds. They can also be integrated and used in the emulator and additive modes, what makes this entire feature highly interesting. Rob also added new analog style oscillators, noise generators, 32 different filters and more. In short, I'm super happy to see Blade 2. It's an update that I personally have been waiting for a long time. Yes, it's time to discover new sonic spheres. Teenage Engineering was also active last week and presented 2 new pocket operators in collaboration with the games developer studio Capcom. PO123 Street Fighter is a mini sampler and PO128 Mega Man is an 8-bit synthesizer, both with a lovely vintage look of the respective iconic video games. However, these are not completely new developments, but rather remixed versions of the PO33, KO and PO28. It's similar what we saw before with FX Station, which was a remixed version of the Best Station 2. In addition to the new lovely looks, both new POs ship with 16 soundtracks and new sounds from these games. For big fans of these games, certainly very nice additions. from the point of view of a synthesizer friend, like me, rather unexciting because they don't really show something mind-blowing new. Nonetheless, a nice release and definitely better than the stylish radio. And the software deal of the week comes from the Center of Research in Electronic Art Technology at the University of California. Emission Control 2, the free standalone granular application from Curtis Rhodes, is back in a new expanded open source version. It's a granular sampler that takes you on a journey of deep granular synthesis. You can load in multiple sound files and granularize them with up to 12 grain streams. Of course, the app has everything you know from your favorite granular apps. Plus, you can bring everything in motion with 6 LFOs with either B or unipolar waveforms. For me, a fantastic free software tool for PC, Mac and Linux, with which you can learn granular synthesis, but also let you discover new sonic worlds. Thanks Dave Toll and Curtis Rhodes and the entire team of the university to bringing back this great granular standalone app. For more plugin deals and free downloads, check plugin.deals, the sister website of Synth Anatomy. I hope you enjoyed this new episode of Synth News. Let me know in the comments below your favorite news of the week. It would be cool to discuss with you. Big thanks for watching and for your continued support. Big thanks, and I hope to see you again in one of the next Synth Anatomy videos. Bye!